Good morning, everyone. I am D. Sharmila, Department of Industrial Biotechnology, Bharat University. Today, I am going to talk about food preservation techniques. The main aim of food preservation is to minimize the growth of microorganisms during storage period, thus promoting a longer shelf life and reduced hazard from eating the food. The food preservation is essential because it extends the length of time during which the food is nutritionally viable and safe to eat. Most fresh fruits, vegetables, and animal products spoil quickly without refrigeration, dehydration, and preservation. The most popular and effective preserving techniques employ salt, sugar, vinegar, or bread. Okay, how it can be processed? Addition of salt, sugar, preservatives, antioxidants, naturally occurring antimicrobial substances, and also by the processes like drying, freezing, refrigerated storage, smoking, food concentration, canning, etc. So next is high pressure processing, HPP, high pressure processing. The high pressure processing is also known as high hydrostatic pressure or ultra high pressure. The high pressure processing, that HPP is otherwise called as hydrostatic pressure or ultra high pressure processing. The HPP uses up to 900 MPa to kill many of the microorganisms found in foods, even at room temperature, without dehydrating vitamins, flavor, and color molecules in the process. The food package are also loaded onto the vessel and the top is closed. So the pressure medium, usually water, is pumped into the vessel from the bottom. Once the desired pressure is reached, the pumping is stopped, valves are closed, pressure can be maintained without further need for energy input. Okay, what is the principle? Now I'll tell you the principles of HPP. A principle underlying HPP is that the high pressure is applied in an isostatic manner such that all regions of food experience a uniform pressure, unlike heat processing where temperature gradients are established. The principle underlying that high pressure is that the high pressure is applied in an isostatic manner. Next, application of the PEF is used in processing of apple juice, orange juice, processing of milk, a liquid, whole eggs, baking applications, and processing of green pea soup. Then, then advantages, that is, first point is that is, it kills vegetative cells, colors, flavors, nutrients are preserved, short treatment time. These are all the advantages. It kills the vegetative cells, colors, flavors, nutrients are preserved, short treatment time. Okay. Next is mechanism of microbial inactivation. Electrical breakdown. The normal resisting potential difference across the membrane is 10 millivolt. The normal resisting potential difference is 10 millivolt and is proportional to the field strength and radius of the cell. The increase in the membrane potential leads to the reduction in the cell membrane thickness. So that the potential difference, that is 10 millivolt, and it is proportional to the field strength and the radius of the cell. So this it increase the membrane potential, it leads to reduction in the cell membrane thickness. Next is electroporation. The plasma membrane of the cells, it become permeable to small molecules after being exposed to an electric field, and permeation then causes swelling and eventual rupture of the cell membrane. Electroporation, the plasma membranes of the cells, it will become the permeable to small molecules after being exposed to an electric field, and permeation then causes swelling and then eventual rupture of the cell membrane. The preserving agents that it prevents bacteria, mold, and other potentially harmful organisms from growing on the food. Dry preserving technique such as baking food in salt that draws water out of the food, making it an inhospitable environment of microorganisms. Wet preserved foods undergo heat processing that kills microorganisms, and the vacuum seal created by proper canning that prevents the life-staining bacteria present in the container. Most bacteria and fungal spores it cannot live without oxygen and prolonged immersion in boiling water. A notable exception is the bacterium Clostridium botulinum. It is dangerous and potentially fatal disease called botulism. That is the disease. The Clostridium botulinum is unusually hardy and thrives in anoxic environment. Oxygen is toxic to it. It also survives boiling temperature that kill the most other bacteria. However, it cannot survive acidic environment such as pickle bread. The non-acidic preserves such as and pickled vegetables, soup, meat, it preserves do not contain sufficient acid to kill the Clostridium botulinum species. Then, the only safe technique for making these preserves is to process the jars in a pressure canner, which subject them to temperature much higher than the boiling water. Next, preservation of food by any method is best principle. First one, prevention or delay of microbial decomposition. By keeping out microorganisms, that is asepsis. The nature, it provides the protective coverings around the food. The nature, it protects the coverings around the nature, around the food items in the form of the shell of nuts, that is skin of fruits and vegetables, the shells of eggs, and the skin or fat on the meat or fish. So the nature itself, it provides the protective coverings around the food materials like groundnut. These protective coverings act as a preservative factor, thereby preventing or delaying microbial decomposition. Even in the food industry, several aseptic methods are also adopted the contamination of foods during its processing. In the canning industry, the load of microorganisms in heated process necessary for the preservation of a food is known as the aseptic canning. Okay, in the canning industry, the load of microorganisms that should be killed before the packaging. That is called as aseptic canning. In the dairy industry, the quality of milk is judged by the content, quality content. Packaging of food is also an application of asepsis. The coverings may range from simple wrappers to hermetically sealed containers of foods. Polythene bags and moisture-proof wrappings, including heavy foil, heavily mixed papers, and cellophans, are used. So the coverings may range from the simple wrappers or hermetically sealed to avoid the microorganism to enter inside the packing materials or packing food items. Sometimes the polythene bags and the moisture proofs, wrappings, including heavy foil, heavily mixed papers, and cellophanes are used for the wrappings. These are the packing materials for the preservation. Next is by removal of microorganisms. The filtration is a method used for the complete removal of microorganisms and is successfully applied only to clear liquids such as water, fruits, juices, beer, soft drinks, and wine. So, by removal of microorganisms, filtration is a method used for the complete removal of microorganisms and is successfully applied only to clear liquids such as water, fruit juices, beer, soft drinks, and wine. The next point is the filter used in this method is made of asbestos pads, unglassed, perchlorine, and similar materials. This filter is sterilized and made bacteria proof before being used as a filtration device. So the filter is used in this method is made up of asbestos pads. It is sterilized and it is called as bacteria proof because this sterilized filter is prevent to enter the microorganisms. The liquid is filtered by forcing it under pressure through the filter. The liquid is filtered by forcing it under pressure through the filter. By hindering the growth and activity of microorganisms. The third one, that is by hindering the growth and activity of microorganisms. This may be done by low temperature or drying or by providing anaerobic conditions. When anaerobic absence of oxygen, anaerobic means that is without oxygen or absence of oxygen. Aerobic, that is presence of oxygen. When anaerobic, that is absence of oxygen, conditions are created, some aerobic organisms die while the spores of others may survive but are unable to multiply in the absence of oxygen. This principle is used as the preservative factor in canned and packaged foods. Next is low temperature. The low temperature at which foods are preserved in cold storage that slows down and sometimes prevents the bacterial activity. If you are storing the food items in the low temperature, so what will happen is the bacteria, it will not grow in the food items. So we can avoid the contamination. Food contamination, we can avoid it. Or the food are preserved in cold storage, it will slows down the microorganisms, either bacteria or fungi. That is, next is drying. The drying of foods is a very effective method of avoiding spoilage of food since microorganisms cannot flourish in the absence of moisture. So the low temperature at which the foods are preserved in the cold storage, so it slows down the growth of bacteria. And the drying of foods is a very effective method of avoiding spoilage of food. So that we used to keep the food items for drying. Or in ancient days, our ancestors they used to keep the materials under the sunlight. That is and then a traditional method they have used for long storage of food materials. Since the microorganisms cannot flourish in the absence of moisture, certain chemicals like sodium benzoate and potassium metabisulfate may be used for the preservation. Some chemical substance also that is used like sodium benzoate and potassium metabisulfite, but they should be used with a great care as an excess of any of them may result in poisoning. So that we need to take care of that chemicals, how much we are adding. It depends upon the food material that which we are going to preserve. Okay, so very meager amount that we have to add for the preservation. So certain chemicals like sodium benzoate and potassium metabisulfite is added for the food preservation. Next is by killing the microorganisms using heat or radiation. In this process, this I mean, by killing the microorganisms using heat or radiation, in this process, uh, gamma rays or high-speed electrodes is used for the destroy the microorganisms. Okay, so the both type of radiations are termed as ionized radiation. This is the food radiation. So the gamma rays is applied on the food items. So the bacteria and the fungal, the microorganisms which is present in the food items that is killed when you are applying the gamma rays. So after applying the radiation, the food is safe. We can store the food materials for further use. So prevention or delay of self-decomposition of food. This is done by destruction or inactivation of food enzymes by blanching. Okay, prevention means that completely we can prevent to growth of the microorganism in the food material, or delay of self-decomposition. Okay, we can extend the time. Okay, extend the time for the self-decomposition of food. This is done by destruction or inactivation of food enzymes by blanching. The inactivation affects many plant enzymes, which otherwise might cause toughness and change in color. All plant and animal tissues contain enzymes which are highly active at room temperature and above. For each 10 degrees Celsius, that is 19 degree Fahrenheit, rises in temperature, the rate of the chemical change doubles. Okay, so prevention or delay of self-decomposition of food is this is done by destruction or inactivation of food enzymes or blanching method. Next, the rancidity of fat is an excellent example of undesirable oxidation, and it leads to the deterioration in flavor of foods that may contain only small quantities of fat. Oxidation also leads to a loss of ascorbic acid. The plant and animal tissue fiber is softened. The surfaces of cut non-acid foods are oxidized and become darkened as a result of enzyme action, thereby changing the color, texture, and nutritive value. So the plant and animal tissue fiber is softened. Then the surfaces of cut that non-acid fruits are oxidized and become darkened. Before freezing, that is to prevent the growth of bacteria, the fruits and vegetables are blanched to inactivate the oxidative enzyme. The blanch is done with hot water or steam, and the extent of treatment applied varies with the kind of food being treated. The brief heat treatment is supposed to accomplish reduction of the number of microorganisms on the food. Yes. Before freezing, that is to prevent the growth of the bacteria or fruits or vegetables, whatever it is, or blanched, that should be blanched to inactivate the oxidative enzymes. Blanching is done with the hot water, or either it can be done by the steam. Okay. The brief heat treatment is supposed to accomplish reduction of the number of microorganisms on the food. The enhancement of the green color vegetables such as peas and spinach, etc. And prevention of damage because of mechanical causes, insects, and animals. Blanching. The blanching is a process where the vegetables are exposed to boiling water or steam, already which we have discussed in the previous slide. The blanching is a process where the vegetables are exposed to boiling water or steam for a brief period and then are rapidly placed in ice water to prevent cooking. Blanching stops the food's enzyme action and destroys any microorganisms that is present on the vegetables surface, reducing your risk of food poisoning. Blanching is a process that the vegetables, fruits, and everything it should be exposed to the boiling water or either maybe a steam, and then stops it that the blanching stops the food's enzyme action. So, and it destroys any microorganisms present on the, I mean, the vegetable surface. The microorganism which is present on the surface of the vegetable that should be killed, and it reduces the action so that the food materials is there safe to eat and safe to store for the future use, and then we can avoid the risk of food poisoning. The items of food can be damaged either by insect and animals or by machine. So, either damaged either by insect, animals or by mishandling. Therefore, the meticulous care should be exercised to minimize any damage to the foods. So, when we are handling the food material, we have to take care that the gloves and all we have to wear, and then the hygienic methods we have to do that. The entire operation of preserving food is divided into three stages of careful handling. So, proper packaging. So, the proper packaging should be take care of that the person, those who are packing the food items, that quick and effective transportation. We should not delay for transportation after packaging, so that we have to deliver as early as possible. So, quick and effective transportation. Then the third point is it providing good storage facilities like slush and for grains and cold storages for fruits and vegetables. So this is the baking material. Okay. Next is methods of food preservation. The foods can be preserved by the following methods. So the food materials, it can be preserved the following methods. First point is canning method, canning or bottling method. The second one is salting or sugaring. The salting or sugaring is otherwise called it as osmotic dehydration. So either adding salt or either add we can add the sugar. Next is the third one, that is drying method. The fourth one is that is fermentation. The fifth one is cooling on freezing. Okay, so these are the five methods can be used for the preservation of the food material. The first one, canning or bottling. What does canning? Canning or bottling? Canning, basics for preserving food. The canning method is basics for the preserving food. Canning is an important method, safe method for preserving food if practiced properly. So the first and best method is canning method or bottling method. Canning is an important method. It is a safe method for the preserving the food. Okay, how the process can be done? The canning process, it involves placing foods in jar or similar containers and heating them to a temperature that destroys microorganisms that cause food to spoil. During this heating process, the air is driven out of the jar, and as it cools, a vacuum seal is formed. This vacuum seal prevents air from getting back into the product, bringing it contaminating microorganisms. So the canning process, it involves the placing foods in jar or similar containers. We can use this for this method. We can use either jar or either we can use that any container. Okay, the temperature container that can use it for the canning or bottling method. And thus, during this heating process, the air is driven out of the jar, and as it cools, a vacuum seal is formed. This vacuum seal prevents air from getting back into the product, bringing with it contaminating microorganisms. The safe canning method. There are two safe ways of processing food. The boiling, first one, a boiling water bath method, then the pressure canner method. The boiling water, first method, the boiling water bath method is safe for tomatoes, fruits, jam, jelly, pickles, and other preserves. Okay, in the scanning method, for canning method or bottling method, we can use the container or airtight air sealed container. The boiling water bath method is safe for tomatoes, fruits, jam, jellies, pickles, and other preserves. In this method, the jars of food are heated completely covered with the boiling water, 212 degree Fahrenheit at sea level, and cooked for a specified amount of time. So, in this method, the boiling water method, that is, I told you, fruits can be stored, jam, jelly, other all other pickles and everything that should be packed in this method, boiling water method. In this method, the jars of food are heated, jar as well as the food material together after packing. It's heated completely, covered with boiling water, 212, that is 212 degree Fahrenheit at sea level, and cooked for a specified amount of time. The pressure canning is the only safe method of preserving vegetables, meat, poultry, and seafood. Jars of food are placed in 2 to 3 inches of water in a special pressure cooker, which is heated to a temperature of at least 240 degree Fahrenheit. This temperature can only be reached using the pressure method. So the pressure canning is the only safe method for the preserving vegetables, meat. In this method, we can store the material, that is meat, poultry, and seafood also that can be stored. This temperature can only be reached using this pressure method. The microorganisms called Clostridium botulinum is the main reason why pressure processing is necessary. Though the bacterial cells are killed at boiling temperature, they can form spores that can withstand these temperatures. The spores grow well in low acid foods in the absence of air, such as canned low acidic foods like meats and vegetables. When the spores begin to grow, they produce the deadly botulinum toxins. That is the poisons. The botulinum species started producing the toxin, that is the poisonous substances will be produced. So the spores grow well in low acid foods in the absence of air, such as canned low acid foods like meat and vegetables. The only way to destroy these spores is by pressure cooking the food at a temperature of 240 degree Fahrenheit or above for a specific amount of time, depending on the type of food and altitude. The foods that are low acid have a pH of more than 4.6 and because of the danger of botulism, they must be prepared in a pressure canner. The low acidic foods, that is includes meat, seafood, poultry, dairy products, and all vegetables. So that in the low acidic food materials, easily it will get contaminated, that is meat, seafood, poultry items, and all other dairy products, especially all the vegetables also, it will get contaminated easily. Okay, right. Next, high acid foods have a pH of 4.6 or less. It contains enough acid so that the Clostridium botulinum spores cannot grow and produce their deadly toxin. So the high acid foods, the previous slides I told you that the low acid foods, it has easily the microorganisms, it will grow easily and faster. In case of high acid foods have a pH of 4.6 or less and contain enough acid so that the Clostridium botulinum spores, it cannot grow in the food items and produce their deadly toxin. High acidic foods can be safely canned using the boiling water bath method. So the better is high acid food items can be safely canned using the boiling water bath method. So now I tell you what are the high acidic foods. The high acidic foods that is includes fruits, that is properly pickled vegetables, some kind of foods like tomatoes, fig that have a pH value to close to 4.6. It needs to have acid added to them in order to use the water bath method. This is accomplished by adding the lemon juice and some vegetables. Note that is, we should understand that don't confuse your pressure canner with a pressure cooker, which is used to cook food quickly. A pressure cooker does not have adequate room for both canning jar and the water needed to create the right amount of pressure to preserve the foods. So your pressure cooker does not have adequate room for the both canning jar and the water needed to create the right amount of pressure to preserve the food. The old canning methods are unreliable and for that reason are not used or recommended today for home canning. So the older canning methods are not reliable. So that is nobody is using that older canning method. That is not recommended also in this today's method. So for occasionally these methods are revived as being faster and easier than water bath and pressure canning. So that using other methods is like playing Russian roulette with your food safety. The see looking at this, see the diagram, that image I have. I'm showing this water bath canning. This is the pressure canning. Next is salting or sugaring. Salting method. Salting, that is, preserves food by removing the moisture and creating an environment unsuitable for microbial growth. So, the salting, when you are adding the salt, that it prevents the growth of the microorganisms. So, the salting preserve the food by removing the moisture and creating an environment unsuitable for microbial growth. Very few bacteria growth in high salt solution. So simply adding a very few that high amount of salt can be an effective method of preservation. Yeah, we know that in our ancestor they used to uh, put more salt for the preparation of pickles because the pickles it should be so stored for the long period of time. So when you are adding the salt, so that microorganisms it won't grow. The salting is one of the oldest known methods of food preservation. The natural sea salt abundant in the Mediterranean region were readily available in ancient times and were used to preserve meat, fish, vegetables, and even some fruits. The amount of salt alone needed to preserve food is extremely high and therefore can be unpalatable. The amount of salt is alone needed to preserve the food is extremely high and therefore can be unpalatable. Therefore, the salt is often used in combination with another method like dehydration and acidic solution to preserve food. Examples of salt preserved foods. It includes hard salamis, bacon, salt pork, fish, olives, pickles, preserved lemon. You can see the images. Okay, hard salamis, bacon, salt pork, fish, olives, pickles, and preserved lemons. Sugaring is the food preservation. So salting is the process that the addition of more salts for the preserving the food items. Sugaring is the food preservation method similar to like pickling. The sugaring is the process of desiccating a food by first dehydrating it, then packing it with pure sugar. This sugar can be crystalline in the form of table or raw sugar, or it can be a high sugar density liquid such as honey syrup or molasses. The purpose of sugaring is to create an environment hostile to microbial life and prevent food spoilage. Sugaring is commonly used to preserve fruits as well as vegetables such as ginger. From time to time, sugaring has also been used for non-food preservations. For example, honey was used as a part of the mummification process in some ancient Egyptian rites. A risk in sugaring is that sugar itself attracts moisture. Once a sufficient moisture level is reached, the native yeast in the environment will come out of dormancy and begin to ferment the sugars into alcohol and carbon dioxide. This leads to the process of fermentation. Although fermentation can be used as a food preservation method, it must be intentionally controlled or the results will tend to be unpleasant. So the sufficient moisture level is reached, the native yeast in the environment will come out of dormancy and begin to ferment the sugars into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Next, drying. Food drying is one of the oldest methods of preserving food for later use. It can either be an alternative to canning or freezing or complement these methods. Drying food is simple, safe, and easy to learn. With modern food dehydrators, the fruit leathers, banana chips, and beef jerky can all be dried year round at home. How drying preserve the food? The drying removes the moisture from the food, so bacteria, yeast, and mold cannot grow and spoil the food. Drying also slow down the action of enzymes. So drying removes the first of all, the drying removes the moisture from the food. So the bacteria, yeast, and mold it cannot grow and spoil the food. Also, it slows down the action of the enzymes that is occurring, naturally occurring substances which causes fruits to ripen, but it does not inactivate. Because drying removes moisture, the food becomes smaller and lighter in weight. When the food is ready for use, the water is added back and the food returns to its original shape. The foods can be dried in the sun, in an oven, or in a food refrigerators by using the right combination of warm temperature, low humidity, and air current. Next is in drying, the warm temperatures cause the moisture to evaporate. The low humidity allows moisture to move quickly from the food to the air. Air current speeds up the drying by moving the surrounding moisture away from the food items. Next is fermentation. What is fermentation? The fermenting is another ancient technique of food preservation that has remained popular to this day. Popularly is most likely attributed to the unique flavor that is occur through fermentation. Fermentation itself is a form of food spoilage, but when the microorganisms are tightly controlled, it can be produce desirable effects and provide safeguards against harmful organisms. The bacteria or yeast used in the fermentation process produce acids as byproduct, which acts to prevent other potentially harmful bacteria from thriving. As an added bonus, many of the organisms used to ferment foods are also healthy additions to the natural flora of the human gastrointestinal tract. Both sauerkraut and kimchi are examples of the use of fermentation to preserve the cabbages. Fermentation in processing is the process of converting carbohydrate to alcohol or organic acids using microorganisms, yeast or bacteria under aerobic conditions. The science of fermentation is known as sermology or submerging. The term fermentation sometimes refers specifically to the chemical conversion of sugars into the ethanol, producing alcoholic drinks such as wine, beer, and cider. However, similar processes take place in the leaching of bread, CO2 produced by yeast activity, and in the preservation of sour foods with the production of lactic acid such as in sauerkraut and yogurt. Other widely consumed fermented foods include vinegar, olives, and cheeses. The more localized foods prepared by fermentation may also be based on beans, grain, vegetable, fruits, honey, dairy product, fish, meat, or tea. Then next to the fifth one is that is cooling and freezing method. Chilling and freezing, bacteria and yeast grow best at specific temperature, usually between 40 to 140 degree Fahrenheit. By lowering the temperature below 40 degree Fahrenheit, the metabolic and reproductive action is significantly slowed. While this may not actually kill the bacteria and yeast, it does slow the spoilage process. Although freezing food has been used in colder climates for hundreds of years, the expansion of electricity and home appliances in the early and mid 20th century greatly expanded the use of freezing as food preservation method. So, eat good food and healthy food. Thank you for listening. Thank you.